was at the wrong place at the right time. 'Cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing under the night sky.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Brittany and I'm a full-time work from the home homeschooling mama. So I have two boys, Liam who is 6 and Caleb who is 3. And I do a lot of motherhood lifestyle content on my channel. If you like that kind of content, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you like jump and go freezer crock pot meal ideas. So today I am sharing with you 4 really easy, a lot of the time you probably have a lot of these ingredients around your house. They are going to be meals that I am going to prep for my freezer, and then we are going to put them in the freezer and we'll eat them over the next couple of weeks in conjunction with like our regular meal plan. I love freezer meals just because it is so easy to like pull this out of the freezer, dump it in the crock pot frozen, and put it in the crock pot for chicken is usually, I would say, 4 to 6 hours on high, and then beef, I like to cook beef a little bit longer, so I usually will do that on either 6 hours on high, actually 4 hours on high, or like 8 hours on low. So I know the last time that I did a video like this, I will leave it down in the description box below, was about a year ago, but I did not really include the cook times, so that's what I would suggest. I think crock pot's kind of personal preference. It's the same thing with Instant Pot. They can give you guidelines, but sometimes people like to cook it a little bit longer or don't like to cook it as long. So that is my guideline for you guys. This video is actually really special because it is in collaboration with a very sweet friend of mine here on YouTube. Her name is Elizabeth, and I'm going to introduce her right here. Today's video is in collaboration with my friend Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, you guys, she shares the best content over on her channel. She is so sweet and we have grown so close. I am so blessed to call her one of my friends. So make sure you go check out her video. Her link to her channel and her video will be down in the description box below. If you guys are coming over from Elizabeth's channel, hi, I'm Brittany. I hope that you hit that red subscribe button and stick around. I did say this at the beginning of the video, but I do a lot of motherhood lifestyle content, and I would be absolutely blessed to have you as a part of our YouTube family. I am going to get started by writing down the meals on these freezer bags. These are gallon Ziploc freezer bags. I like to use a Sharpie, and I like to write on them the meal, the date that I prepared it, and then I also like to write anything else that needs to go into the crock pot that I don't put in the bag, and usually something that I serve it with in case my husband or somebody else is pulling it out and putting it in the crock pot for me. Now, 98% of the time I am the one doing the cooking, but it just makes it a little bit easier. So I am gonna get started by writing all these down. Okay, I am done writing those out. So this one is chicken teriyaki, gonna serve it over rice, and it's gonna cook for 4 hours on high. And then I am making chicken and dumplings. I did write add biscuits the last hour that they cook. And I don't have chicken broth, which I thought I did, which is not a big deal. I'll dump it in the day that I do it. So I put a reminder on there for myself to add chicken broth. And I wrote the date, and then 4 to 6 hours on high. And then I have beef sirloin, so it's slow cooked beef sirloin, 8 hours on low, 4 hours on high. I'll probably do it 8 hours on low and serve over rice. And then this is a take on Sunday pot roast. I'm gonna do it 8 hours on low. I think Sunday meals are made to cook nice and slow and all day and have your house smell like them. So 8 hours on low, end the date. So we are going to get started with the first meal, and I am going to do the chicken teriyaki. It is the easiest. I do have these things that I got off of Amazon, and I will link them for you guys down below if you are interested in them. But it just kind of holds your bag up, and it's super easy to fill them. So let's get started. Alright, so first up is the chicken teriyaki. This is probably going to be the easiest one that I prepped today. So you're just going to need your bag, and then I have a family of 4, and this I'm probably going to do 3 chicken breasts in here, and then the other 4 I will save for the chicken and dumplings. So 2 and then 3. So that's all the chicken that you're gonna need. That's in the bag. I'm gonna put this away and get my hands washed up, and I'll be right back. Okay, and another thing that I wanted to mention, these would be super easy to double a lot of these recipes. Sometimes I will do that. I think this is gonna be a monthly thing on my channel, so I didn't wanna do a video with like 8 meals. I figured I would spread it out a little bit. So we're gonna take a half a bottle of teriyaki sauce, and we're gonna pour that in the bag. This is one of our family staple meals. It's so good. You shred the chicken when it's done and then serve it over rice, and it is so good. And then we're gonna do, this is a half cup measuring spoon, but we're gonna do 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna do half of this. So you're just gonna pack it down, and then I'm just gonna dump it in. So that is literally going to be it for this meal. And then you just want to try and get as much air out as possible when you're doing this. So if you have a vacuum seal, probably would be really good, but I make mine fairly quick, so this is fine for us. But you're gonna wanna get out as much air as possible. And then my best tip, almost knocked that over. My best tip for freezing these is to lay them as flat as possible. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stick it over on my counter, and we're gonna get moving on to the second meal. Alright, so the next meal that I'm gonna share with you guys is chicken and dumplings. This is another really easy meal to throw together. So you're just gonna take your chicken breast, I'm doing 4, and stick them in your bag. And again, I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then we're gonna get the onion chopped up. Before I get any further, this is like a butcher block prepping station. We do our coffee bar on it. This is granite, and so I use it as a cutting board. So no worries, I didn't need a cutting board. The next thing that I'm gonna do is stick in 2 cans of Campbell's cream of chicken soup. So that's gonna be it for the chicken and dumplings. Like I said, it also gets, if you had it, 1 can of chicken broth. I'm just gonna put it in the day of, and then you will use Grand's biscuits, and you will chop them up and put them on top. I probably will include this meal in my what's for dinner video that's coming out in a few weeks. So if you guys want to see that, then be on the lookout for that video. So same thing again, I'm just gonna flatten the bag as much as possible, and we are gonna move on to our beef dinners. Going to be a take on the Sunday pot roast that is in the Magnolia Table Volume 2 cookbook, and there's just a few things that I don't put in that they do, but the majority of this recipe is exactly the same. So you're just going to need a chuck roast. They say 5 pounds. I do, this is 2.11 pounds. And so that's just what I do, and it is definitely enough to feed our family. So we are just going to pop this out. I love these packaging from our local grocery store because it's just really easy to get them out of here. So we're just gonna slide that out, and it's gonna be super heavy on this. Put this in here. Okay, again, I'm gonna get cleaned up and I will be right back. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is get my produce ready. I'm using these carrots. I'm just probably gonna cut them in half. Baby carrots, you could use regular, like the big carrots. 4 potatoes, and then a white onion. So we're just gonna get all of this chopped up and into the bag. It calls for 2 cloves of garlic. This is just crushed garlic that I got from Trader Joe's, and it's frozen, so I'm just gonna cut off 2 pieces of it, and then they're like little blocks, and literally just squeeze them in the bag. If I can get them out. They're usually really frozen, so they come out a lot easier than this. Okay, there's that. And then you're gonna do, this is 32 ounces of beef broth. We're gonna do probably maybe half of this. Let me see. No, we're gonna do a quarter of this. So you're gonna do 8 ounces of beef broth. And then I would say probably do like maybe a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire, or a couple teaspoons. It really just depends on what you like. We love the taste of Worcestershire, so that's what I'm gonna pour in there. I'm gonna have to get a new one out for the next recipe. So that is going to be it for this one. Now, it is really hard to flatten a roast because the bag is always so thick. Like, there's so much stuff in it. So we're just gonna do the best that we can and get out as much air as possible. This, you guys, Sunday staple. We love having a pot roast on a Sunday. It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait to eat this one. Okay, last up is going to be a slow cooked sirloin. Alright, so the last meal that we're going to do is actually a family meal. It's my grandparents' recipe that they gave me in this cookbook for my wedding, and we have made it. It actually was a staple. My grandparents used to make it on Christmas Eve, and it just gives me all the feels, and I love it, and it's so good. I hope you guys enjoy it too. It does call for thyme as well. I don't really cook with a lot of thyme. I don't know why. But it's gonna take dill weed, is gonna be like the main seasoning, some garlic, some beef broth, a sirloin steak, and then a pepper and an onion. So I think first to start, I'm gonna get my produce chopped because it's probably going to be the easiest way for me to do this. And then before I do that though, I wanted to tell you guys, if you decide to make any of these meals, don't forget to tag me over on Instagram. I'll leave my handle here on the screen. It's either gonna be in this corner or this corner. I can never remember which way corner it goes in. And I will definitely share you guys back. I love when you make the recipes that I make and then you share them. It is always so fun to see. But first, I am gonna get all of this chopped up. If you guys are wondering where my children are during this video, I am filming this at like 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, so they are fast asleep in bed. Okay, all that is chopped up. So I am just going to, actually I probably will start with the beef. I'm gonna get that put in the bag here. This might have to go sideways. This is like kind of really long. So it's gonna kind of just like fold over there. So let me get cleaned up. All right, so I have my meat in there. We're just gonna dump the veggies in with it. Oh my gosh, I can like, my mouth is watering just thinking about this meal because it is so good. I've definitely saved the best for last. Actually, I can't even say that because every single meal that I share with you guys are literally staples in our house. You have to try them all. So I'm gonna do 2 cloves of garlic in this. And again, it's kind of, let me use my knife. It's kind of hard to get out because it started to melt. So much easier when it's frozen. So that you're going to do, actually, let me look in my recipe book. So you're gonna do 1/4 tablespoon of dill weed. If you wanna add the dried thyme, that's 1/4 as well. So I don't measure, and if you're new on my channel, you would know that. So we did the beef, the onion, the green pepper, 1 can, 14.5 ounces of reduced sodium beef broth. So I'm just going to put in probably a little more than half of this, since I already did half. So I would want like a quarter left in here because I did a 1.25. Yeah, that's probably good. And then you're going to do some pepper. I just have a pepper mill right here. So I'm just gonna put in some pepper. And then I do need to get some Worcestershire sauce, but I want to explain something to you guys, so hold on a second. Okay, this is calling for 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Again, I am not going to measure. So the other thing that it calls for is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. But, so I just stick this right in the crock pot. But if you want to get technical, what you should do is you should, in a large non-stick skillet, you coat it with cooking spray. You're going to brown the beef on both sides, and then you're going to put the onion and the green pepper in the crock pot first, and then you're going to do the seasonings, and you're going to put the beef in, and then you're going to pour these 2 over top. And then what you're going to do is, it says you're going to cook on 3 to 4 hours, or until the meat reaches desired like doneness, and the vegetables are crisp but tender. Then you're going to remove the beef and keep it warm, and in the meantime you're going to combine the cornstarch. So the cornstarch, and I'll leave this recipe down below. The cornstarch is 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons of water. So you're going to combine the cornstarch and water until smooth. So my husband taught me this trick that he learned. Put it in a Tupperware container and do it together, and then shake it up like that. It's so much easier to so it's not chunky. And then you're going to pour it into the juices and stir it around until it marinates together. And then you're going to put the beef back in. You're going to cook for an additional 30 minutes. And then you're going to actually, you're going to cover and cook for 30 minutes without the beef in it. And then you're going to put the beef back in the crock pot until it is heated through. And then we just shred it. You could take it out and slice it however you want. But that is this meal. And again, I will leave this one in the description box below for you guys. We have been making it for 4 years. And like I said, my family absolutely loves it. So I'm going to take this last meal off of the thing and try and get as much of the air out as possible. Okay, now I'm going to get all the rest of my meals. All right, you guys, here they are. So the chicken and dumplings, the chicken teriyaki, the Sunday pot roast, and the beef sirloin. So I did want to tell you one of my #1 tips in making freezer to crock pot meals. I get questions all the time. Yes, you can cook them frozen. Probably you might want to add an hour depending on the meal. I would just keep an eye on it. If you're going to work, just when in doubt, set it on low for 8 hours. It'll be done. And that's like my best tip for cooking. But my best tip for freezing, again, is to get out as much air as possible. Make sure you freeze them completely flat, and make sure that you put a paper towel in between each meal that you freeze, because if you don't, what's going to happen is they're going to freeze together and you're going to have a really hard time pulling them apart. Trust me, I did this a long time ago when I first started doing crock pot freezer meals. I think before my first was born. He's 6 now. And I made them, and I was so proud of myself. I made all these meals. I made muffins, and I prepped like 30 days worth of crock pot meals and all this stuff. And then I froze them and they all stuck together. So don't do what I did. Learn from my mistake. Put paper towels in between, or you can freeze them separate. If you have a deep freezer and you can freeze them separate, then you can stack them, because once they're frozen, it's fine. But if they're not already frozen and you stick them in like this, I promise you they will all freeze together and you will have a very hard time getting them apart. So that is my biggest tips. All of these meals, I probably, with filming, probably took me 45 minutes. So you could make these within a half an hour. You make them on a Sunday. You have them for the rest of the week. Highly, highly recommend freezer dump and go crock pot meals. It is the easiest way to cook. I absolutely love using a crock pot in the winter time and in the fall time. It just gives me all the feels to have my crock pot going all day and to smell it, and it's just amazing. I love it. So let me know down below in the comment section if you're the same and you like that, because it's just so much easier. So you prep these on a Sunday, and then when it is time to cook the meals during the week, it takes all the guessing out of it. All you do is take it out of the freezer. You can take these out the day before and stick them in the fridge so that they are defrosted a little bit. But if you forget, seriously, don't worry about it. As soon as you get up, turn your crock pot on, stick the bag in just like this for about, I would say 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then you will be able to open the bag and shake all the contents out. It's still gonna be frozen, but it'll take it away from the bag so that you can put it in the crock pot. So again, so easy, you guys, seriously so easy. Let me know if you have any favorite freezer crock pot meals down below. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do one of these monthly. So this is going to be my September video. So in October, be on the lookout for another one. If you are new, I hope that you hit that red subscribe button so that you can become a part of our YouTube family. I typically post on Thursdays and Sundays, and sometimes I do a bonus video on Tuesdays of motherhood lifestyle content. We'd love to have you as a part of our YouTube family. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like freezer crock pot meal idea videos, so that I know to make more. We will see you guys in our next video. Bye.
Don't you know that you're beautiful?